Death perhaps is a macaw rather than a man with a hood and a sickle. That is the theory, at least, posited by the new fantasy drama film Tuesday. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Tuesday. This had a limited run in theaters a few months ago, but it is now streaming on Max, so you can check it out there as I did. This is produced by A24. Usually they have some films that are a little bit outside the box, and this certainly falls into that category. Julia Louis-Dreyfus stars, and this is a first-time director as well, so a debut from her. But we'll talk shortly about all of this. First, though, let me welcome you back to Dan Reviews It. If you are one of my subscribers already, thank you so much. Always love having you guys return to the channel. But if you're not one of my subs, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. Like this video, comment below, all that stuff, of course, does wonders for the channel as well. So, look, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she has come a long way in her dramatic acting. She hasn't been in many movies really, but she did Enough Said with James Gandolfini. I think that was his last picture before his death. That was about 10 years ago now. And then a few years ago she did another one called You Hurt My Feelings. I think that might have been just last year that I thought was excellent. And now we have her in Tuesday, which is not just a drama, but it is a fantasy drama, a fairy tale of sorts. And there's some comedic elements here as well, but this all is about death and dying. And so this is written and directed by Denia O. Pusick. Like I mentioned, this is her feature film debut as a director. So, new territory here, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure if all of the choices here paid off, both in the writing and in the directing, but we will talk about that. But this is about this woman, Zora, played by Louis-Dreyfus, and she has a 15-year-old wheelchair-bound daughter named Tuesday who has a terminal illness that is incurable. I'm not sure if the movie ever tells us exactly what that is, but it doesn't really matter in the long run. But she's played by Lola Pettigrew, who I did not recognize, but she's done a lot of stuff on the BBC, so, maybe British audiences will know her. And this is actually a co-production from America and England, so the two kind of joined forces here. So it's very possible that she's, a popular actress in England. I don't know, but Arnizy Keene is the voice of Death here as the macaw. So essentially, Death, we see kind of a montage in the beginning of this movie about Death, as this macaw kind of going from person to person, basically telling him, hey, we're checking out now. And when he makes his way to Tuesday, she basically pleads with him to give her a little more time, wait till her mother comes home. She is on, a little trip out or whatever. And Zora, upon seeing Death, decides, oh, no, we're not doing this today, and, tries to go after it, etc. And I won't really go into any more spoiler territory than that. I guess that's enough plot. So let's talk about the film. Certain things work here. First of all, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, look, what an actress. I've been actually watching a lot of old clips of Seinfeld on YouTube. They've been doing these sort of like mini episodes where they focus on just one of the three storylines and do all the scenes from that. And, her comedic timing is really second to none between Seinfeld and Veep and a lot of the other things she's done. She's just absolutely fantastic in that space. But like I mentioned earlier, she's been doing some drama films in the last 10 or 12 years, and not too many of them, but enough to, kind of dip her feet into that well. And she does great with these emotionally gripping scenes. And the daughter is really good too. Again, I'm unfamiliar with her, but Lola Pettigrew, she gives us a great performance as well. But there's a lot of problems here with the script and some of the directing as well, including so this macaw changes sizes. He can get enormous, he can shrink down, but he can also be kind of a normal sized macaw. And the CGI, when there's a size disparity, it is just kind of terrible. And I don't think there's some comedic elements to this movie, but that certainly I think is not supposed to be one of them. But it looks completely ridiculous. But look, that's maybe more of a budget constraint than anything. I can't take off too many points for that. But it's kind of everything else surrounding it. Like I've mentioned, there are some comedic elements here, but I'm not sure what is actually meant to be comedic and what just kind of comes across as sort of clumsily comedic by chance, or just sort of clumsy in general. And that's kind of the whole tone of this movie. Yes, there are some slightly poignant moments when we get to the themes of the movie, which are kind of about death and what can we appreciate and love with our family and that kind of thing. But I think a lot of the messaging sort of gets lost in the wild tonal shifts of this movie. And it brought me to mind of some other things that we've seen, not necessarily maybe with death as the theme, but like it reminded me a little bit of A Monster Calls, which, I think that came from a book. This is original. But it had that same kind of vibe for me, with this sort of otherworldly thing, and that's a fantasy movie, sort of speaking to a child and whatever. Saw that movie a long time ago. I don't fully remember it, but it brought to mind some of those things, and that movie did all of these items better. And then we have the voice of the macaw that comes off as this really like gruff. I'm not going to do an imitation of it, but think of like Dr. Claw from the old Inspector Gadget show. And that's kind of along the lines of how this macaw speaks. And to me, again, I don't think that was necessarily going for comedy. I think it was going for some sort of, gruff. I mean, he plays death, so this sort of scary type of voice. And for me, it just didn't come across like that. So I don't know. Look, I give this movie some points for clearly originality. It's got that, and Julie Louis-Dreyfus and the gal, the young teenage girl, give great performances with what they have. But I think this movie is too tonally all over the place to really reinforce the themes properly. So unfortunately, as original, I was looking forward to seeing this, but it just didn't come together for me. I leave Tuesday with a C-. However, if you're interested, it is now streaming, like I said earlier, on Max, so you can check it out for yourself and see what you think. Thank you for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time. Bye.